Yes, football starts here, and it is an honor and a burden. That quarterback position and these two faces of the franchises we'll see tonight. Russell Wilson in Seattle, Colin Kaepernick in San Francisco. And just a moment ago in our Mic'd Up series, just listen to Russell Wilson addressing his teammates.
Nothing else matters but right now. Bring the fire, bring the passion, bring the locked in mode. Let's go to work.
That's it.
Dominate, one play at a time.
That's
Let's
it.
hit, let's run. Let's have some fun while doing it. Let's make some spectacular plays.
That's it.
Let's be consistent all night.
Their desire is to go back to looking like they're playing Seattle Seahawks football. Coach Tom Sulip and Navarro Bowman. As we get set now for the kickoff under beautiful blue skies here in the Bay Area. 75. There are winds. It's a little deceiving, Phil. And the kickers will tell you that. Everybody that comes into this building, there's a little bit more there than you think. But a beautiful night for football here in Santa Clara as we get it underway. Hauschka and the Seahawks kicking as they deferred. And Ellington with no chance to run that one out. Colin Kaepernick these last 2 weeks has been very sharp, very nearly pulled off a win at the Giants on a Sunday night 11 days ago. And then last Sunday, 340 yards passing and a couple of touchdowns in the win against the Ravens. What have they been doing differently here with Kaepernick the last few weeks?
Well, it's a big story out here in San Francisco and everywhere when you follow pro football. The fact that he's under the center and what it's done to him. Play action fakes. It's made him relax. I think he's throwing the football better than I've seen him throw it in a long time, making good decisions, and basically simplifying the offense so he can get rid of the football quickly. Big key tonight.
It's Patton in motion, and they actually give it to him. Out of the gun, handoff Patton, and Sherman shoves him out, but it's a gain of 2.
That was actually that's a pass since he pushed it forward, and that's a good way to get the quarterback feeling confident about completing the pass, even though it was about a half a yard.
That is one of the cheapest completions of all time right there.
It's unbelievable.
But they open up in shotgun, and they're going to go there again. As you see, Reggie Bush is in the backfield. Not Hyde. Hyde with that foot injury. He's up, but not on the field. He was questionable coming in. So Kaepernick on 2nd and 8, all kinds of time. Finally just dumps it off here to McDonald. And again, the Seahawks are right there with a wall to meet him, including Bruce Irvin.
Well, it's a really good decision by Colin Kaepernick, and this explains the Seattle defense, if nothing else does. If he'd have stayed with the tight end, maybe over the middle, but this is what they want you to do. Throw it short, come up, make the tackle, and now unleash the pass rush on 3rd and 7.
You said they've put him under center these last couple of weeks, and Kaepernick has responded, but he's going to come out for the 3rd straight snap out of the gun. And it's a 3rd and 7 for the Niners on this first drive of the game. Dropped by Bush, would have had the first.
He did get hit by Cliff Averill, Colin Kaepernick, but Reggie Bush is wide open, and the football is just done on target. Very easy throw for Colin Kaepernick, and that's a big miss. That's what you want to do. Get that first down in the game. Get some rhythm for yourself, as I always say, Jim, the players, the quarterback, but maybe more importantly for Jeep Chris, the offensive coordinator.
21-year-old rookie punter out of Clemson, Bradley Pinion. Send it down the way. Here's Lockett. What a threat he's been here at the start of his rookie season. Nowhere to hide this time as he has 3 on the return after a 42-yard punt. Brought down by Tart. Russell Wilson, he's won 5 of 6 games against the 49ers.
Well, I know one thing, he's in great shape because he stood out here tonight, and I'm not exaggerating, I think he warmed up for 2 hours. So he's ready to go. He's just like Pete Carroll. First thing he said to us when he walked into our room last night, man, I'm glad we're playing Thursday night because all the Seahawks want to get rid of that taste of that late defeat by the Carolina Panthers.
Yeah, blew a 13-point lead in that game against Carolina. Here is Lynch, and taking bodies with him. He is tackled by Aaron Lynch of the 49ers. Give him 5 on that carry. Marshawn Lynch grew up here in the Bay Area, starred over at Oakland Tech, and then, of course, at Cal. last week. He was contained by the Panthers and had missed action with Thomas Rawls, a rookie, filling in for him and doing quite well. So they're ready for the beast mode to return here in Seattle. 2nd and 5 from the 44, and a second straight handoff, and there's an opening for Lynch. Into the secondary, and then hammered down by Bethea at the 39, and it picks up 17.
Well, the beast mode, he's allowed to miss some contact every once in a while. Watch 53, Navarro Bowman just can't get there quick enough to make the hit. What tremendous side movement from Marshall. Bowman in the hole. You think he's going to get the tackle. Can't get there quick enough. The good feed by Marshawn Lynch. And that also tells you that run, the first two, that he is 100% healthy and ready to go.
Yeah, looking strong on those first 2 carries. Empty out the backfield on first down. And Wilson gets off the hit and finds an open target. It is Lockett, the rookie from Kansas State, with another first down, and he's pretty impressive. A little talent here is Tyler Lockett, taken in the 3rd round. He's got 16.
Well, he is. Let's watch the pass rush. What's the number one? Don't get behind the quarterback. The worst spot on the football field if you're a defensive lineman. And that time, Aaron Lynch. So deep, Russell Wilson had a huge lane to move through and make the easy completion. Make him stand back there, even if he has extra time, and throw over the top of you. Don't give him such easy throwing lanes.
Back to Lynch on first down. They had him at the line, but he still is able to power ahead for 4 more. So the Seahawks, every play so far has been effective. 9th year for Marshawn Lynch. Most in the league since 2011, over 5,500 yards. At least 11 touchdowns each of the last 4 seasons.
Well, to win this game tonight, you look at the 49ers defense, Jim, the one thing they've got to do, they've got big, stout defensive linemen, 2 good edge linebackers. You would think they'd have a good chance of stopping the Seattle run game. Not so far.
Freddie Jackson is in the backfield. They're going to swing it over to Jackson. And he's trying to find anything. I tell you, not very good tackling here by the 49ers. They had him just like they had Lynch at the line on the previous play, and Jackson's able to weave through traffic for 7 more and another first.
If you're going to play a safe, conservative defense, in other words, we're going to watch the quarterback. He's going to throw it short, and then we're going to react. And if you give him, you let him break a tackle and give him all those extra yards going forward, that's devastating to your defense.
New set of downs at the 12. Jimmy Graham on the near side. Here's the give up the middle. Lynch again breaking a tackle. Running over Antoine Bethea, who holds on by the leg, and it's another 9-yard gain.
You're so worried about this, then this is what happens. You give these open lanes inside, and the cutback, that is the biggest reason, the zone read, that gets you concerned. And what a block. Okung, the left tackle, just washes it down in a big running lane for Marshawn Lynch.
They've run now so far 6 plays. The smallest gain was 4. They just keep picking up chunks. It's 2nd and 1. Lynch this time just needing a yard, and the middle is clogged. It'll be 3rd and inside of 1 for Pete Carroll's side.
Yeah, you talked about it earlier. Pete Carroll excited about the game. And, you know, and he's not just that gives you that coach speak when he tells you things, Jim. He's very positive, but I believe him. And when you watch them play in these games, they are so close to being what they want to be. But those big mistakes at the end by the defense, very different.
3rd and 1. And it's Lynch. And it's close. And this looks like a good spot coming in from the far side. This Seattle offensive line that has been the subject of a lot of scrutiny here at the start of the season. They had a 2nd and 1. This is going to require a measurement. But talking about that offensive line and the positivity that you get from Pete Carroll is they're going to bring out the chain gang. He talked about that line. It's a transitional thing. He told us in his 2nd season at Seattle, they had a similar thing. He said it took about a half a season before it gelled. He says, we're kind of approaching that point. We're going to be pretty good the second half of the season with that offensive line, he said.
Yeah, you know, look, and it's a story to that offensive line that changes. They have to let guys go. When you have success, teams are going to come in and take some of your players. So they made the decision to let a few offensive linemen go, and they're trying to break these new guys in to overcome the fact that they lost 3 good offensive linemen.
So they're going to go for it here on 4th and inches.
Yeah, there's no doubt. You've been running the football like the way you have. You're winning the battle up front. You got a mobile quarterback, many plays at your disposal if you're Darrell Bevell, the offensive coordinator.
2 tight ends, Jimmy Graham and Luke Wilson. Tukuafu is the fullback. He's lined up in the middle of that line. 4th and inches, Lynch. He's got enough, and he's trying to power across. Did they rule him down? It looks like on the near side. The line judge is going to say he's down at the 1. It'll be a 1st and goal. They're not going to give him the second effort for the touchdown.
Well, they're going to probably rule it forward progress was stopped, I think. And that was quick if it was ruled that.
Ruling on the field was forward progress was stopped. 1st down, Seattle.
That's you see all these things. We did a game last week, Jim. The San Diego Chargers have gotten situations like this. A guy like Marshawn Lynch, you don't have to block it that well for him to run in there and power forward and get a half a yard. And Pete Carroll, you cannot challenge forward progress.
Yeah, they've thrown the red challenge flag out.
Yeah, they picked it up and they're going to run it back to him.
Walt Anderson and his crew officiating tonight.
There is no challenge by Seattle. They did not hear the announcement that the ruling on the field was forward progress. That is not a reviewable play. It's 1st down.
Oh, man, that gives you an out there. I didn't hear what you were saying, but well, as I watched the replay, I thought it was a quick whistle and all that, but after I saw the first replay, Jim, I didn't see it. Not only is he forward progress was stopped, looks like his knee was down also.
That right knee was close to touching the ground. In fact, it wasn't. So here we go with the worst red zone team in touchdown percentage so far this season, the Seahawks. 1st and goal from the 1. And it's back to Lynch again. And Lynch off that left side. They're going to have him short again. Now you say that you don't need to give Lynch a whole lot of room, but remember they had 2nd and 1 from the 2. He's carried it. He's now carried it 4 plays and picked up a yard.
I said not a whole lot. You got to give him some. Give him a little chance. You can't let him start dodging people in the backfield, but that's what makes running in these situations so hard in the NFL. Defensive linemen get underneath the offensive linemen and hard to get by.
This will be the 7th snap in the red zone. They fake it this time to Lynch. Backpedaling. Wilson just throws it away in the direction of Ricardo Lockett. Pressure provided by Ahmad Brooks.
Great job, Ahmad Brooks, keeping the edge. You cannot let Russell Wilson play action fake and then get outside. Watch the top here on the outside edge. Now he can't run. He can't step up.
And you saw Tom Sula, who was the defensive line coach here before taking over with the departure of Jim Harbaugh. He would love for that line to make a play right here. 3rd and goal from just inside the 1 is back to Lynch, and he's over the top for the touchdown.
Well, he had enough experience down inside the 10 running the football, and he figured it out. Instead of trying to slam in there, good job of stalemating by the offensive line on the left side, Justin Britt. And he went over the top.
Just the 2nd touchdown of the season for Lynch, and as we told you, he's had at least 11 each of the last 4 years, but he skies for that one. And that's an impressive opening drive by Seattle that lasted over 6.5 minutes. Took them 12 plays to punch it across.
One of the matchups that I thought kind of favored the 49ers, kind of already said it, the fact that their defensive line can be stout. They're big guys. They're not great pass rushers. So I thought they'd have a chance to stand in there against the run, but a good power series by Seattle's offensive line.
Is the field goal or a PAT this season, and he drills that one. Took 4 plays to reach the red zone, and then 8 plays in the red zone before Lynch finished off the drive. 9 of the 12 plays by Seattle were handoffs to Marshawn Lynch, who picked up 38 yards on the 9 carries and the touchdown.
Well, Jim, we talk so much. Everybody, all the shows, I love watching it. Yeah, the Seahawks defense failing late, but they weren't in this position, or haven't been a lot of times, because their offensive line has been dominating games, and you have to worry about stopping somebody at the end. In years past.
This is Patton running with it. And he's ridden down by Earl Thomas. Nice return by Quentin Patton, 30-yard run back. Get Lynch. Get some hang time. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Nationwide. Nationwide is on your side. Voya Financial, changing the way you think of retirement. And by Wendy's, as you ride on Flight Deck, one of the many thrill rides right next door at Great America Theme Park. Second series for San Francisco. Starts at 32, and that is Carlos Hyde. And he's got a couple as Kerry Williams pushing and shoving a little bit with Vernon Davis. Bruce Miller in there, Cam Chancellor as well. Kaepernick's season, of course, they opened up on a Monday night and won convincingly over Minnesota, thanks a lot to the legs of Carlos Hyde. And then they had a 4-game losing streak. There was the stretch there for a couple of games where he threw 5 picks, no touchdowns. But these last 2 games, 4-0. 4 touchdown throws, no picks. In this second series, he's operating under center. And he's looking down the field, and that is completely covered up by Bruce Irvin. Vernon Davis was down there as the target. Earl Thomas also in the area, double coverage.
Well, what you would like to do, and what San Francisco, one of the keys to this offense, know where to go with this football. The play action fake is the wrong way. That starts it off. But they're trying to get Vernon Davis deep down the sideline. That's how they make some of their big plays. They have good tight ends. Vernon Davis still fast. But Seattle's defensive line is thin. Not a lot of backups. Stay on the field, tire them out. Of course, it gives you a greater chance of winning.
3rd and long. Kaepernick again sails over the head of a well-covered Anquan Bolden. And another 3 and out here for the 49ers. You can already hear a little undercurrent of restlessness inside Levi Stadium.
Okay, well, you be the quarterback. Let's see you make the throw. Here's Anquan Bolden, Kerry Williams. You're covered. On the other side, they're putting Richard Sherman on their speedy best guy. Oh, Richard Sherman falls down. Didn't see that. But that's a little unique and different for Seattle's defense. If you're the opposite corner, usually from Richard Sherman, you see a lot of passes coming your way.
This punter, Pinion, again the rookie from Clemson, he is 6'5". Completely catch that as Lockett comes up to make the grab at the 25. And he was trying to make a wiggle past one last 49er, Eric Reed, but 10-yard run back, 41-yard punt. Look at Chris Matthews and Bruce Miller still going after it a little bit.
You know, before we go back to that last pass, you know, Colin Kaepernick, you can't be afraid of Torrey Smith against Richard Sherman. Richard Sherman's going to respect the
During
great
the
speed.
kick, holding number 13, receiving team, 10-yard penalty from the end of the kick. It'll be first down, Seattle, timeout.
Well, Seattle made it look easy on their first drive. And we'll see their second series in a moment. Today's next-gen stats are presented by Esurance, auto and home insurance for the modern world. Now, how active on the field are these 2 quarterbacks tonight? Well, when you add up, again, with the microchip that's embedded in the shoulder pads here and get all these next-gen stats, Wilson and Kaepernick, first and second most in the league. Just talking about total distance run on plays where they've carried the football or even thrown the football.
Heck, I don't even run that much in a year. It's a lot of work.
Thomas Rawls is in the backfield. Here is the rookie from Central Michigan, spelling Lynch on this second series. Picks up 2.
Well, Marshawn Lynch, Jim, looks pretty fresh. Nice cut here. Navarro Bowman cannot get there. Then the zone read. Watch how the left tackle, they wash it down. Then you can't attack Marshawn Lynch because Russell Wilson is reading you. Opens up a big run lane. Then over the top.
Those 9 carries the first drive. He sits out at the start of the second series with Rawls, who had a fabulous game at Cincinnati when he gained 169 on the ground. Picks up 2 more into the arms of Ian Williams.
Really good job. He stayed in his position, didn't over pursue. That's what you got to do. Eric Mangini, if you're going to play a simple defense, which is really not his characteristic as a coach in his former places he's been, you got to be great with techniques. There's Eric Mangini, and that's what they're trying to do. Be simple, be sound, and hope it works.
Fred Jackson is the third down back.
A little different look. You got double linebackers outside on each side.
Wilson trying to scramble away from the pressure, and he's got the first down. Reed comes up to end it at the 27, but a 9-yard pickup by the quarterback.
2 linebackers out there. Then the game gets the line, gives them a lane to get to Russell Wilson. And I know Russell Wilson is 5'11", but he is strong and hard to bring down. And Pete Carroll says he just has an unbelievable knack, even though he's been sacked and hit a lot, to just know how to take the hit, fall, and not get hurt.
He got away from Eric Armstead, who had a good play on him. Here's a first down throw underneath. It's to Rawls, and just his second catch of the season's a 4-yard pickup. Never miss a moment of football action with the CBS Sports app. Every play, score, every game, every highlight, right as they happen. Download the CBS Sports app now, cbssports.com/mobile. Six first downs for the Seahawks. No first downs for the 49ers on their first 2 possessions. 2nd and 6, and Rawls returns. After making the catch for 4, and look at him slip past a couple of Niners. Is an impressive looking runner here. Rawls, the rookie who started his college career at Michigan and ended up at Central Michigan, undrafted coming out this year.
Russell Wilson said basically, didn't say these exact words, I'm going to paraphrase. Do you think they'll try to keep those safeties back against us with our run game and our zone read where I can run? And I went, well, I didn't say anything, of course. But if you play it back and have both safeties back there deep, even though they rotated late, tough to stop Seattle's run game.
That was a 17-yard run by Rawls, and they fake it to him. And now rolling out, Wilson. And trying to run away from Glenn Dorsey. Manages to pick up 3 yards. Monday on CBS, the wait is over. It's the world premiere of Supergirl. Be sure to see what everyone will be talking about. Supergirl premieres Monday after a new Big Bang Theory on America's #1 network. Got a flag out. Too many men in the huddle.
12 players in the offensive huddle. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
I could understand if San Francisco had 12 on defense. Right now they're struggling. They could use it, but that's a mistake. Those are, man, organization. Coaches, they go over it constantly. To have an extra guy in the huddle, make that mistake with personnel. There's Darrell Bevell, the offensive coordinator. Count them all, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. Yeah, I did it really quick. But
2nd and 12. Rawls trying to get around Buffet, who stays there and holds on, keeps him to a 3-yard pickup.
Well, that was really well played. That time they were ready for the zone read. They had a safety to tackle the runner, and then they had another person, the other safety, Reed, was in position to come up and take Russell Wilson. Coverage is one thing. The biggest thing of all, though, can your rushers keep Russell Wilson in the pocket?
3rd and 9. at the 50. From the pocket. He throws, and it's incomplete. Trying to find Jimmy Graham, and Eric Reed had tight coverage. Well defended.
That's the matchup we kind of expected. Jimmy Graham with Eric Reed, the safety, on him, has the speed. He's a big safety and has a chance in situations just like that to cover him one-on-one.
So John Ryan, who's averaging 47 yards a punt this season, he's going to be sending it down to about, he hopes, somewhere inside the 10. Reggie Bush is hanging out in that neighborhood. Gets at the 10 and starts to bounce backward as Chris Matthews taps it toward the end zone. And that's where they'll mark it when he tapped it at the 11. 39-yard punt. Kaepernick, well, they haven't had a first down in the game so far. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by the Lexus IS200 Turbo and IS300 all-wheel drive, and by Bud Light. Make the right call. Drink responsibly. We will be back here in 108 days, February 7th, for the golden anniversary of the game, Super Bowl 50, here in the Golden State. Looking forward to that. Here's the give to Hyde, and the second year back. It's a second gear there and gets a little help from Garrett Selleck's block and has a gain of 12. Let's go down to Tracy.
Jim, Marshawn Lynch missed that last drive because he was on the sidelines actually throwing up. His stomach is upset. I had a chance to speak with some of the Seattle officials down there. He said that it's not uncommon. Usually it happens in the locker room. He should be good to go. Jim?
First down picked up by the 49ers. Thank you, Tracy. And this play is whistled dead.
Take offsides on the defense.
Neutral zone infraction, number 92, defense. 5-yard penalty, still first down.
Hey, and as if the Seattle defense isn't menacing enough, check this out. Kaepernick, massive dragonfly on the attack. You talk about beast mode.
Well, one of the weapons they love are the bootleg passes, and one of the things the Seattle defense is very good at stopping, the bootleg passes.
1st and 5, and Hyde again rips off a nice run. And running behind Alex Boone, which will end the first quarter. First bright spots for the Niners, these last two runs by Hyde. 7-0 Seattle after one. We'll return to Santa Clara after these messages. This is the Energy Solar Terrace atop Levi's Stadium. Part of the green nature, if you will, of Levi's Stadium. Meanwhile, here's the real Kaepernick to open up the second quarter. Trying to step away from pressure, but they've got him. It's Michael Bennett sacking him back at the 31.
Well, it's a play action fake. They got the extra blockers in there. It doesn't matter. He makes the move up, but there is nobody open down the field. They were going for the big home run again. Anquan Bolden. Bruce Irvin all over him, nowhere to go. And the protection's going to break down.
Yeah, Bolden's with a nagging hamstring. Didn't look like he was going to have much separation on that play anyway, so he's not 100%. 2nd and 15. And right away, Hyde is met by Frank Clark.
Penetration. I talked about the need to run it. Here's why. Look at this. Early in the game, Richard Sherman, Torrey Smith. Where do you throw the football? As he looks, look how they surround the receiver. If you throw it, they're going to be there. Read the quarterback's eyes and get there. I said earlier, the strength of this defense, they can rally, gang tackle, and not give you those extra yards after catches.
Second straight negative play by the Niners. And it sets up 3rd and 19. The screen pass, Bush running out of real estate on that side, and Kerry Williams is on his back. So they picked up a couple of first downs thanks to Carlos Hyde, their first downs of the game, and then they stall here to open up the second quarter.
I think the big thing, too, that can help this 49er offense, Reggie Bush back. Coach Tom Sula said, look, a lot of energy, has that explosion back. Had it Tuesday in practice, and they got to find ways to get the football to him.
And Pinion to send it down to Lockett. They've got to watch out for this kid. He's already got a punt and a kick return for a touchdown. Yeah, they've got him covered up so far tonight. Again, Reed in on a special teams tackle, along with Nick Ballore. Just a 37-yard punt. 7-0 Seattle.
Watching NFL Thursday Night Football.
Monday on CBS, secret meeting, shady characters, possible jail time. It's all in a day's work on a new Big Bang Theory Monday at 8, 7 Central only, CBS. So far in the game, 23 yards. That's it for the 49ers. Seattle's first drive of the game, they went down the field 61 yards and scored on a Lynch run from a yard out. Now Lynch stays on the sideline and rolls. It's the first down carry for another 4. Now they're going to bring Lynch back out.
Well, you know, Jim, we've talked a lot. It's been a big topic of conversation up in Seattle, really everywhere. You know, when you're the defending Super Bowl champion, they just expect you to just come out and we're going to roll again. But this league restarts every year. But the offensive line, you got to pay a price somewhere when you have great success, because you got to start paying players. So they've let 3 key offensive linemen go in the last couple of years.
2nd and 6, over the top. The pass is caught. It's Jimmy Graham's first catch of the night. Beautiful touch throw by Russell Wilson. And it picks up 23.
Right down the middle. Here he goes. Everybody, when you're running the football, they come up on the play action fake, and listen, they're learning to integrate Jimmy Graham into this offense. Different formations. They're looking for him more. He's getting matchups. We saw it last week. And also the big thing, when Russell Wilson scrambles, Jimmy Graham, he knows where to run to.
Biggest play of the night so far, 23 yards. And it's Lynch met after a gain of 2. Yeah, he had 8 catches to Jimmy Graham against Carolina for 140. And 3 of those receptions last week went for over 25 yards, which was the most he's ever had as far as big gains in a single game.
Well, you know what you tell the quarterback when Jimmy Graham's running down the field, don't you? Listen, now listen to me. When he's covered, he's open. So never think that he can't turn, get the ball, use his height. Like Russell Wilson says, such a window to throw the football to him because he's tall, long arms.
Well, he's out this play, and 2nd down carry, Lynch. And Bowman has him, along with Aaron Lynch.
And the other thing is, too, Jim, just think about when you change surroundings, you know. That's what he did. He's got new teammates, new coaches. Of course, a new football team. It's different in the locker room. It's uncomfortable. I don't care how good you are. So all that's kind of gone away. And you can almost see it when you watch him play the last couple weeks. He's freer, more dynamic, and it shows up on the stat board, too.
3rd and 5. Of course, his 3rd down. Breeze would always look Jimmy's way down in New Orleans. Let's see what Russell does. In trouble. He's within a yard of the first. It'll be 4th and 1.
Well, that was a nice job by Tank Carradine, 95, to get off the block and get in, drop back inside and make the tackle. 95. Oh, wrong guy.
Well,
Other side, he came off the left of the quarterback.
They're going to go field goal here. Passing up a chance to go for it at the 31. Actually, where they spotted him, it would have been a long one. They'll call it 4th and 2. 49 yards for Hauschka. And a kick by Hauschka. And it finds its way in. In the left pocket. 15 for 15 on the season now is Hauschka. 10-0 Seahawks. Well, the Seahawks won both matchups last year, 19-3 and 17-7. Holding them in those 2 matchups, the 49ers to a total of 10 points. Blanking him so far here tonight. And Bruce Ellington, who was the primary kick returner last year, he's assuming that role tonight. He's the deep man, and he's coming up with it. A former basketball player at the University of South Carolina, two-sport star, averaged 11 a game there. Runs it back out, 24-yard return. 10-0 Seattle, second quarter. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Pizza Hut. Experience the flavor of now by ordering at pizzahut.com. The all-new Mazda CX-3. Mazda, driving matters. And by Cricket Wireless, something to smile about. Congratulations to the 49ers Coach of the Week, Mark Crail of Los Gatos High School. His Wildcats winning over Wilcox last week. Congratulations, Coach Crail. The 49er offense has yet to reach its own 40.
Got to beat man coverage. That's the big thing. Receivers not winning.
Well, they're going to come out throwing here on first down, Phil. And they've got a man open. Plucked out of the air at the 40. We talked about they hadn't gotten to that point. Now they do with Vernon Davis for 14.
Well, they finally got in a formation, let Colin Kaepernick get outside, and Vernon Davis, he comes across and he's going to stop. That's what allows him to get open. But he keeps running, they're going to have the coverage there. So good job of Vernon Davis, a veteran. He understands, he can see what's in front of him, and they've done that quite a few times over the years.
This play for the 49ers a moment ago, and here on first down, that's Bush for 3. Jim Tomsula taking over for Jim Harbaugh. He has been a head coach before in NFL Europe for the Rhine Fire. And what a fascinating life it was. He had that job. He was coaching over in Europe for a good 10-year span. He would coach over there, then he'd come back and he would assist at Catawba College in Salisbury, North Carolina. He'd be coaching 42 weeks a year. Actual application of practice and games.
Yep, it was a long journey, and as he said, a fun one, getting to be a head coach in the NFL.
A 2nd and 7. And Kaepernick, he's going to dump it off here to Bush, who tries to work his way around the last defender to get the first. And I believe they gave him the spot.
That's what teams do to this Seattle defense. Just think of the Super Bowl and what New England did. Everything they did, play action, drop back, look down the field, get rid of it quicker to the underneath receiver. If you just run a simple offense and they have any idea where you're going with the ball and you don't kind of make them think, they'll overrun you.
It is a first down, and again, a good pass over to Vance McDonald, the third-year tight end out of Rice. But make that Garrett Selleck with the catch for 8. And Jim Tomsula, he had actually been an interim head coach here in San Francisco when Mike Singletary was relieved of his head coaching duties. He's a Pittsburgh native, and boy, I tell you, he's one entertaining guy when you sit down and meet with him, isn't he?
Yes, he was. He goes, I tell the truth. He goes, you know, I don't win the press conference, though. I'm not one of those kind of guys, so it's pretty fun.
2nd and 2, nice move. That is Hyde getting around the Seattle defensive line for 5 and a first.
Really good job. You look at Carlos Hyde, and you almost wondered, he has a little trouble. It's his left foot, and planting on that left foot, he says, sometimes can hurt. So Tom Rathman, the ex-49er running back, the running back coach here, there he is standing right in front of Hyde. He says, well, then don't cut. Just run straight ahead and run over these guys. I think there was a message there, and we saw how hard he's run so far.
Yeah, he has the power to do that. Run you over. First down, and that one sails on him. Over the head of Anquan Bolden. Saturday, the best game for the best conference. The Volunteers take on Bama. And hoopla begins with college football today right here on CBS Sports. Tennessee and Alabama this Saturday on CBS. Kaepernick like to have that last throw back. 2nd and 10. Tucks it back under and gets away from Bennett. And now throws it down the field and out of bounds Just as soon as he got away from Bennett, David King was there to force the throw away.
Nobody is open, but they talk about what's the top of the screen. And as Colin Kaepernick gets out of the pocket, and they just talk about, hey, when he moves past the receiver, that's a linebacker. A little double move, shake and go. And Bruce Irvin stayed right with him the whole time. Of course, Seattle gets lots of practice for that, don't they, Jim? They have to go against Russell Wilson every day, so they're used for a quarterback or had a lot of lessons when the quarterback breaks the pocket.
3rd and 10 at the Seattle 36. And a flag comes in from the secondary.
Delay of game. Offense. 5-yard penalty. Still 3rd down.
Tonight, the NFL hopefuls face the reality of free agency on undrafted. Then Football Town, Barrow, Alaska. Tough decisions have to be made before the Whalers' first road game. 2-hit NFL Network original series tonight after the postgame, only on NFL Network.
Bad penalty, Jim. You were on the edge of field goal range.
Yep.
If you'd have picked up a couple yards, you could have tried a long field goal. So that is the quarterback's fault every time when it's the delay of game.
3rd and 15. Pulled down by Bush, but it's only a 1-yard gain. It'll be 4th down now. And they're going to punt it.
Well, that's the only play too far for a field goal. Field position.
4 drives, 4 punts.
Little mistakes. The delay of game. Missed the receiver. And you're the San Francisco 49ers, especially on offense against Seattle's defense. Very little room for error.
Radley Pinion, who took over the punting duties here for the longtime co-holder Andy Lee. And this is a good one. And not a generous bounce. Finally touched by Reed. He's spotted up there around the 7 or 8 yard line.
Here comes Mr. Lynch. Here comes Mr. Lynch. Here comes Mr. Lynch. We got a game.
If my lineman wasn't so good, oh my God, I don't know what to do. And me being as broke as I am, I'm about to find a way to treat my lineman to Sizzler or wherever they want to go. I love this.
Oh, that's awesome.
That was back in 03, the Oakland Athletic League Championship, when he scored 5 touchdowns to beat Skyline High School. And people, there's a little debate about it, but people say that's when the whole beast mode thing was first raised. That's how they dubbed it back then. Got that from his that video from his mother. We're grateful. As Lynch carries it for 2. Of course, I mentioned before his ties to the area, he was a huge Warriors fan who actually was in the parade when the Warriors went through the streets of Oakland. He said that the Warriors reminded him of the brotherhood he has up in Seattle with his teammates, but he loved seeing his hometown team take the NBA title.
Well, that was, he can take his lineman out to dinner now. He can afford it. He looked like an NFL running back in high school.
He's been sizzling here a little bit tonight. 45 yards rushing, a touchdown. 2nd and 8. Good time for Wilson, and it's pulled down. The catch is made by Curse right in front of Brock. That's only the 2nd reception of the game by a receiver on either side. Goes for 21.
Watch Russell Wilson's throw to Curse over the top of Bowman in front of Tremaine Brock on the secondary. That was as good as you can do it. And of course now, those routes a little easier to throw and catch, I think, because you know you're protected once you jump in the air as a receiver in the NFL now.
Stepping up, and that's the first time he's been sacked tonight. Brooks gets credit for it. The 27th time he's been sacked so far this season. And this offensive line, this is the starting offensive line in the Super Bowl win, Super Bowl 48 over Denver. You got 2 in the same position, the left tackle and the right guard.
Well, you got 3 different guys. That Super Bowl starting offensive line, let me tell you what, that was a huge reason. They controlled the football, the run game. They kept their defense off the field. And as we've said already, breaking in 3 new guys. made a little difference in his team.
2nd and 11, and a flag comes out. You're making the point, though, about how when you have success, you got to start paying people, and then somewhere, you don't have the money to put into a position, and you feel like that's part of the issue with this offensive line.
Absolutely. Lost James Carpenter, Giacomini, both to the Jets. Of course, you trade away Max Unger, but you did get Jimmy Graham back, which was a
Illegal shift. Number 13 and the motion player removing did not get set prior to the snap. 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Hey, the next couple of weeks, we've got 2 undefeated teams as of now in our lineup. First, the Dolphins will meet the unbeaten Patriots on CBS and the NFL Network, and in 2 weeks, we'll be in Cincinnati for the Browns matchup against the Bengals on NFL Network. 2 of the 5 unbeaten coming up on Thursday games, and Brady has never lost on a Thursday night with 20 touchdowns, 2 picks. But Miami's won 2 of the last 3 against the Patriots.
Ready, go!
2nd and 16. Wide open. It's Baldwin darting for that first down yardage and stopped about a foot short. A flag in the area of the tackle.
Yep. Let's say grabbed him by the helmet. But the protection, nobody around Russell Wilson. Even when he got sacked, he was just trying to escape the pocket. There wasn't great pressure.
Personal foul. Face mask number 41. Defense. 15-yard penalty. 1st down.
Antoine Bethea slapped with 15 on top of that reception. And the Seahawks will now be on the San Francisco side of the field.
Protection. They both, the underneath coverage, 2 people cover the same guy, and that was a good call. Got him in the opening of the helmet, but if you're going to play a conservative defense, which a lot of teams do in the NFL now, the one thing you must have is a pass rush so the defense doesn't spread out and you get wide open receivers like we just saw there.
Wilson, 6 completions to 6 different receivers. He's looking long. He's launching it. Down for Lockett in the end zone, and it's caught for the touchdown. Tyler Lockett, the rookie from Kansas State, from 43 yards out. His first touchdown reception in the NFL after already putting up a punt return and a kick return for touchdowns earlier this season.
He comes all the way across the field, and Russell Wilson does a good job staying deep and disciplined, because not only was he wide open, Ricardo Lockett on the other side made a move where he was wide open also. But the time it takes, they run through the secondary, even though they're back there, to stop a play like that.
Boy, does this kid bring some energy to this team.
I saw it with the Baltimore Ravens. They designed some plays last week. I thought, how could you draw something up that takes so long? Well, you can do that because the pass rush takes too long to get to the quarterback.
Lockett was actually part of the Jimmy Graham Unger trade, as he was the 3rd-round pick that came with Jimmy Graham. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Call of Duty Black Ops 3, available November 6th, and by Jaguar. See the new model year lineup at JaguarUSA.com. And the cable cars, we had a chance to experience those this summer, and a little photo shoot. I was out there just kind of tagging along, watching you doing all the modeling and everything.
Oh, that's right.
Super Bowl 50.
It was fun being on the cable car, but holding your hand was a little difficult.
Yeah.
So, no, it was kind of fun and kind of cool, really, wasn't it? Tracy Wilson was with us, and
we all get set for Super Bowl 50 in this very stadium. Here's the kick, and it's going to be run out by Ellington. Had a nice return last time, getting it past Kearse. There's Thomas, who collides with him at the 20. What happened on the touchdown, Phil?
Well, a lot of things happened. None of them good for the 49ers. Watch the safeties come flying up on the play-action pass. We see this. Watch how wide open Ricardo Lockett is on the top. They're both And Russell Wilson took the tougher throw of the two. And the one thing, there's Antoine Bethea walking off. Russell Wilson, sometimes on play action fakes, is 13 yards deep. So what does that do? Gives him time to look down the field, opens up running lanes in case he wants to scramble also.
Here's Kaepernick looking for somewhere to go. And he is brought down at the 17 with a sack shared by Averill and Bennett.
Well, look, they're going to get you. You've got to throw on rhythm. That's the one thing you must do as a quarterback against this team. And doesn't look like anybody's open. And then, look, Colin Kaepernick, 1-5 against this team. It's been rough. And if I'd say anything tonight, what I've seen so far, a little antsy, Jim. Just not settled down. Not the same guy. I know it's a good defense, but not the same guy I saw the last couple of weeks who was relaxed and threw it great.
He gets taken down again by Bennett, who's having a big first half. 2-minute warning comes after back-to-back plays. 2.5 sacks on the night already by Bennett. It has been a rough night for the 49ers. 54 total yards. That's it. And there's not a lot of energy out there on the field for this bunch.
When you can't make a play, how can you get energized? They just can't do anything right. They're not protecting the quarterback. Colin Kaepernick a little unsettled. There's so many stories. They can't get open down the field.
Flag comes out as Sherman meets Bolden at about the 19. 49ers have not converted on third down once tonight.
Pass interference, number 82, offense. That penalty is declined, 4th down.
So they're now 0 for 5 on third down, and every third down has been at least 3rd and 7.
Wow.
Well, you remember we did the Chicago-Seattle game week 3,
right?
And 10 possessions, 10 punts for the Bears. And, of course, it was a shutout by Seattle, 26-0 in the end. Now here we are with yet another punt by San Francisco tonight. It's almost the exact same storyline. It's all we've seen out of Seattle. I'm not sure I need to believe everything I've read about this team based on what I've seen with my own eyes. Biggins' best punt of the night. Rocket takes it out of bounds.
I mean, it's not, there's exceptions, but what have teams, when they've had success against Seattle, what is it? Sophisticated passing offenses. Chicago wasn't. This one isn't here. I know they lost at St. Louis, but Green Bay, they did. Cincinnati, again, New England in the Super Bowl. Those type of passing teams give them trouble. Not this 49er offense. It's just not built that way.
Coming up, the Lexus halftime report. JB and Dion and Coach Cowher break down all the first half action. So 3 timeouts for Seattle. 1:41 on the clock. They've just driven 90 yards for a touchdown their last possession, tying their longest touchdown drive of the year. And after a 54-yard punt, they begin at the 27. Dumping it off to Fred Jackson, who has had, in his own way, a very rough week. Was in a car accident leaving the facility at the start of the week. And a former Buffalo Bill running back.
Ready, go.
And on 2nd and 3. Wide open. It's Curse. Almost looking around like, hey, where is somebody? And he's able to bring it all the way to about the 30. It's a 36-yard hookup from Wilson to Curse. And the Seahawks take a timeout in position again.
Kind of like what Seattle did last week against Carolina. Here goes Curse. Safety goes up here. Everybody's not on the same page, and they're lucky this was not a touchdown. If Russell Wilson wasn't hit on the play, if he hit Curse in stride, he was going to walk into the end zone.
Ahmad Brooks got a pretty good shot on the quarterback, but Wilson's hit his last 6 throws for 145 yards and a touchdown, and now he's in trouble, and he is tackled by Dial for the 49ers' 2nd sack of the game. Another timeout here by Seattle. Gorgeous night here in Santa Clara, California. And Seattle 0-3 on the road this year. dominating in the first half here at 17-0 and looking for more. 2nd and 12. Ducks away from another sack, and he finds Lockett near the first down yardage. Looks like he's got it.
Well, just a great job by Russell Wilson. You go outside, he comes in. Here comes the pressure. Oh, how about that? You look at it. Michael Wilhoit, unblocked, going at the quarterback free, and doesn't touch him, and they pick up a first down.
First down with under a minute to play. Down the middle and knocked out of the hands of Jimmy Graham by Eric Reed, the former first-round pick out of LSU, lowering the shoulder and jarring the ball out.
Down the middle, they love this pattern when they get down inside the 20-25-yard line. Send Jimmy Graham or a wide receiver up what you call the seam, inside. They've had great success with it over the years. And a good job by Eric Reed watching the quarterback and reacting.
And also good job by Reed not coming into the helmet.
Yes.
Hitting him on the shoulder. 2nd and 10 with 50 seconds. Wilson on the run to the end zone and intercepted. Tremaine Brock comes up with the theft. Wilson was trying to find Doug Baldwin hanging out in the end zone, but Brock with his 3rd interception of the season.
Jermaine Brock is going to be at the bottom of the screen, and watch what he does. Reads the quarterback, comes off of his man, and that was his job really. When you're playing that position outside, you're supposed to read the inside receiver, believe it or not. So he was always conscious where Baldwin was and reacted to the throw and saved the game for the San Francisco 49ers.
Really did. I mean,
it's a chance.
Just on the brink of being down 24 at halftime. And Brock, the 6th-year corner out of Belhaven, comes up with the interception. Let's see if the 49ers try to do something with 3 timeouts and 43 seconds. Kaepernick in trouble, and down he goes near the 6-yard line. Averill is there.
Well, of course, take a knee. Get out of the first half before you make a mistake and really end the game.
Again, the Lexus halftime report is coming up. JB will discuss the first half here with Dion and Coach Cower. That's all coming up on the Lexus halftime report. The timeout called here by Seattle. I can't imagine coming out of this that the 49ers will do anything other than take that knee you just said. As Kaepernick has been sacked on 3 of his last 4 dropbacks. And when you got a quarterback that likes to scramble or run, you're going to see, these numbers go up. But for Wilson, it's a whole new ball game this year. How many times he's been hit?
Yeah, it is. And, that's right. You look at, so you got to be careful when you look at sometimes sacks and just going right to the offensive line. Mariota, though, the rookie, getting hit a lot too. But
yes. Here's the shotgun, Phil. 4 wideouts, taking the snap at the 6. And they go draw with Reggie Bush. And brought down at the 15.
No, you were like surprised they ran a play. You're not going to score. Sometimes I wonder why. Take a knee. Because why, Jim? We saw one happen. Same situation.
Right at the end of the regulation week 2, Kansas City and Denver. And the crowd here quite unhappy and expressing that as the 49ers head in down 17-0 at the intermission. Wilson throws for 184 yards in that first half with a touchdown and that interception in the last minute. Let's go down to Tracy.
Thanks a lot. And Coach, a huge defensive stop there, but just 46 total yards of offense. How do you find a rhythm in the second half?
We got to find the rhythm. That's just what we have to do.
All right, thanks a lot, Jim.
We'll be back with the Lexus halftime report after this message and a word from your local station. 17-0 Seattle with 269 yards of offense, more than 200 above San Francisco. You're watching Thursday Night Football. As Super Bowl 50 approaches, we look back to the last two. The Seahawks, the NFC representative in each of them, winning Super Bowl 48 over Denver, and of course the thrilling Super Bowl 49, the Patriots saved by Malcolm Butler's pick with 20 seconds remaining in that one. And again, Super Bowl 50 will be right here at Levi Stadium on February the 7th. Hazard to guess right now there, Mr. Sims, who's going to be down on that field here in 108 days?
Have you seen the way I pick games? I mean, I can't pick any of them, so.
I'm going to hit you blind with that.
Yeah, I know, that was good. But I know this. I do love this trophy. So this is pretty cool looking.
It comes in like multiple pieces here, you know?
Yes, I noticed that. Who's getting this one? That's the one I want to know. But.
Well, let's take a look at some of the first half action. Double check this highlight from the first half, presented by State Farm. It's the Russell Wilson heave to Tyler Lockett, who becomes the first rookie since Randall Cobb in 2011 to have a touchdown reception, a punt return for a touchdown, and a kick return for a touchdown in his rookie year. For the first half stats, they're just brutal on the 49ers side. Total yards, 55. Failed to convert on third down. Again, the closest they were on third down was 3rd and 7. And their receivers, 2 catches, 8 yards.
I'll say this. Here's the positive. Okay, I can find the positive. It was a horrendous first half by the San Francisco 49ers, and they're only down 17-0.
Well, this is a team that week 1 beat a Minnesota team that's looking pretty good right now. Beat them on this field 20-3. And then almost a couple of weeks ago, pulled off a win at the New York Giants.
Played Green Bay tough here, so there's been moments. So, you know, they got to figure out what they want to do on the offensive side. Of course, they got to do something on defense, but they got to give the football to Carlos Hyde more here in the second half, as long as this game stays 17-0.
All right, let's get the report from the locker room. Tracy, what did you hear?
Well, Jim, Pete Carroll very pleased with that first half, but he said they need to do a better job in the run game defensively, and pass protection offensively will be key. I asked if he talked to the team about finishing after giving up fourth quarter leads in 4 of their losses. He said, no, I didn't need to. But what he did say is Michael Bennett was all fired up, and I can tell, I could hear it outside the locker room, his final words. Let's keep in mind, guys, this is a 0-0 game right now. Jim?
Yeah, I saw Michael Bennett when they got off the bus here some 3 hours before the game. He indicated, he said, this is going to be a good night for us. They were ready to get back on the field. Here's Lynch. Shakes off an early attempt at a tackle, and it takes 3 49ers to bring him down after a run of 14. Those fourth quarter collapses that Tracy just alluded to. Week 1 against St. Louis. They lost in overtime there at Green Bay. They were up a point, lost 27-17 in the end. Fourth quarter at Cincinnati, they led by 17. That was a tough one in overtime. And then last week, Carolina led by 9. Only Seattle led by 9, only to see Carolina win it on that throw to Greg Olsen. And here is Lynch. Looking pretty nimble on that run for another 13. So 2 big runs by Lynch to open up the half.
Yeah, just a push down by the offensive line. If you watch Justin Britt, Russell Kuhn gets a seal, and then the left side just pushes it down inside. And once again, Marshawn Lynch on the cutback.
Antoine Buffet was injured on the play where he was called for the face mask penalty. In the very next play, they hit the strike to Lockett, and Buffet is not out there to start the second half at strong safety. Jaquaski Tart, the rookie from Samford, taking the second round, is now on the field. There's a first down carry again. It's Rawls this time with a flag out. Now you heard Pete Carroll talking.
Personal foul, leg whip, number 64, offense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
About what they're going to do here in the second half. And when we saw Pete and the team last night, Pete said, hey, we're not down in the dumps here at all. We're thrilled we're playing on Thursday night. We're ready to get right back out there.
I want to hire Pete Carroll to come to my house every day and I wake up and go, come on, it's going to be a great day. Here we go. And of course, it's not coach speak. This is the way he is, the way he believes. And his words were, I am thrilled where this team is going to go. So it's close. When you watch them play, you see so many good things, and it's hard to believe. You look at it and go, how could they be 2-4 by making so many plays with Russell Wilson and on the defensive side?
There's Wilson on the 1st and 25. And they go screen with Walls, who gets just a little bit of it back, give him 5. And then on that same theme, Pete preaching all these positive thoughts, and that's just the way he is. But here you got a guy like Wilson, who was a multi-sport star and certainly knows a thing or two about playing baseball. He said that's one thing he liked about baseball. You get a game the very next day. You don't play well one night, the next day you come back and you're ready to move on to the next one. It's one thing he kind of compared it to, getting back out here for a Thursday after a tough loss on Sunday.
Ready, go! Rocket! Ready, go!
2nd and 20. From the edge, he's in trouble. And they get to him. That is Aaron Lynch. And Russell didn't believe that he was ever down, but the officials disagree. It's a loss of 6.
Well, nice changeup, little blitz. Will Hoyt, the linebacker, comes, and that allows Aaron Lynch to get around the outside, that extra half a beat to get the sack. So Eric Mangini, who I saw coach the Cleveland Browns, up with New England as a defensive coordinator, and the New York Jets, very aggressive in all those stops. So if they need to blitz, they'll be able to call on some.
They whistled it down, but you saw the knee was never down. And that's why Russell, just in case, took off. 3rd and 26, and it's draw time with Fred Jackson. And into the arms of Bowman. That sack on the previous play by Aaron Lynch. He's a good-looking prospect on this San Francisco defense.
Coming along fast. They talked about him a lot. They think you take Aaron Lynch, and they drafted a first-round pick this past year, Eric Armstead from Oregon, and they think they got the makings of some guys that can really rush the passer. The problem is they're young, and it's not happening so far this year.
Yeah, Lynch is a second-year player out of South Florida, taken in the 5th round a year ago. Ryan comes out. A good opening series for that 49er defense after Lynch peeled off a couple of good runs. They then put the clamps on him. Here's Reggie Bush backpedaling to the 16. And splits a couple of tacklers up to the 25. 51-yard punt by John Ryan. Seahawks 17-0. It's Super Monday on CBS, beginning with TV's #1 comedy, The Big Bang Theory, followed by the premiere of Supergirl. Stay tuned in for the super geniuses of Scorpion, all new Super Monday CBS. Here's Hyde. Falls for 4. Now, 4 of the 6 series in the first half, the 49ers failed to produce a first down, and Kaepernick went down 4 times behind the line. Well, Michael Bennett getting 2.5 sacks officially.
They've played Colin Kaepernick many times. One guy flushes and the others just sit there. They're like animals that hunt. One flushing down the open, somebody else is there to pounce on him and get the sack.
It's Hyde trying to get something going here on the ground, and KJ Wright is there. And it's going to be 3rd and short. It's going to be, again, the shortest 3rd down situation they've had tonight. First half, they had 5 punts from Pinion, who had the busiest first half of the 49er roster. And then, of course, the half ended.
Well, they talked about, we want to get rid of the football, throw it short, throw it in rhythm. None of those things happened in the first half, mainly because nobody was open.
And they convert for the first time tonight. 3rd and 3. And the ball's out. The ball is fumbled, and it's on the ground. It slipped to a couple of hands, and it looks like it's Seattle on it. Richard Sherman's convinced of that. Yeah, but it's going to stay with the 49ers.
That was a play you think, okay, what was that? Just a run-off right tackle power play, and that was kind of part of the goal. Yep, see the fumble?
Eventually, Eric Pierce recovered it.
Well, KJ Wright had a chance, missed it. But on third down, they wanted to act like it was second, run the football in situations like that. Seattle ready for it, stopped them once again on third down.
And now punt number 6 of the night. This is a good one as well. Toward the sideline, and it's out. Preventing Lockett from getting a chance to put his hands on it. Sammy Hager performed here at halftime. Got the crowd stirred, but that's about all they've had to get them excited so far tonight. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by McDonald's. Now serving all-day breakfast. The Last Witch Hunter, starring Vin Diesel, in theaters tomorrow. And by Cialis, the California Academy of Sciences in Golden Gate Park, the only place on the planet to house a world-class aquarium, planetarium, and natural history museum, all under one living roof. Into the flat, over to Baldwin, reaches out for about 5. Let's get a report from you, Tracy.
Jim, an update on 49ers safety Antoine Bethea, who left the game before the first half with a right shoulder injury. He is down here in street clothes, officially out for the game, Jim.
And he's certainly a veteran presence, 3-time Pro Bowler Bethea. And again, Jaquaski Tart, the second-round pick, is filling in for him, number 29. Alvin Bailey is on that offensive line now at right tackle for the Seahawks. And Lynch is the running back who gets the handoff. Running behind Bailey. It'll be about 3rd and 3. It was astonishing how many people the 49ers lost in the offseason. I'm not talking just about Jim Harbaugh and guys like Greg Harmon and Vic Fangio, that coaching staff. You look at guys who are left over from the 2012 team that went to the Super Bowl, but you know, you had Frank Gore goes off free agency to Indianapolis. Michael Crabtree's over at Oakland now. Borland retires. Patrick Willis on this defense retires. Of course, Alden Smith's no longer here. It's Justin Smith. Just an amazing amount of talent that exited in the offseason. 3rd and 2. Got the first down.
One thing as you watch this game, this 49er defense, they need help from their offense. Why? Because they don't have a lot of substitutions. So far tonight, as you look out there, Aaron Lynch, Ahmad Brooks, Lamar Bowman, I have not seen them come out of the game. They talk about trying to relieve some of these guys, so when you get tired, hey, mistakes are made, tackling gets worse.
Walls at running back on first down, and back to Walls with his 6th carry of the night. 6 carries now for 32 yards. Have you ever seen a team that's seen such a turnover and then some of these surprises like Patrick Willis? Who knows? Maybe he comes back and plays one day, but he was an automatic Pro Bowler every year.
They lose Alden Smith, the best pass rusher. You think a good pass rusher is not going to change his defense. Justin Smith retires. Chris Culliver, corner gone. Borland, maybe a starting backup linebacker. He retires. So Eric Mangini, when he took the job, he didn't know they were going to lose all those players.
2nd and 6. And now again, way down the field in the double coverage, and reaching up and making the interception is Aker. Aker with the interception. Beautiful leaping catch. Today's Next Gen Stats presented by Esurance, auto and home insurance for the modern world. First time ever now, the 49ers have picked off Russell Wilson twice in a game. This one goes to Kenneth Aker, the 2nd-year cornerback out of SMU.
Top of the screen, it's going to be a move like this. They got what they want. They get the safety up, throwing it over the top, and Jermaine Kearse just slows down and kind of double crosses Russell Wilson and gets intercepted.
Wide open lane there with a flag down, and for the 2nd straight handle, the ball slips out of Hyde's hand. And Hyde signals to the sideline.
Holding number 75 offense, half the distance to the goal, still first down.
That's why there was such an opening, but Hyde seemed to be shaken up. Well, this Sunday morning, wake up and watch with the world for the first time ever. The NFL is streaming a live game on Yahoo. Bills against the Jags, live from London at 9:30 Eastern. And you can learn more at yahoo.com/NFL stream. It'll be a 1st and 13 for the 49ers. And Reggie Bush picks up about 3 yards. This is the first time that Reggie Bush has gone against his old college coach since Reggie was playing for the Miami Dolphins back in 2012. Of course, those two had quite a time winning games down at USC.
They won a lot of games, had a lot of great success. And what you really want Reggie Bush to be is that other back. In other words, to come in, catch some passes, run the screens.
2nd and 10. Play action from the end zone. And Kaepernick turned around off the play action and saw he's in trouble. Didn't look real confident with that one.
Well, he can't be confident because the pass protection broke down immediately from the right side. Michael Bennett goes inside, beats Pierce, and Kaepernick does a good job just getting rid of the football.
So, back to 3rd and long. Story of the night for this offense. This mustered only 63 yards. Kaepernick, who hasn't run tonight, flips it to Vernon Davis, who's running sideways, but has the first down yardage near the 20.
One of the few times all night that Colin Kaepernick was able to step forward instead of going sideways. So good job. He's watching receivers, sees Vernon Davis, creates a little time. Hey, and a 3rd down pickup. So look at the pass rush. Everybody trying to get there. They create the lane inside.
And it's a 3rd down pickup for the first time tonight. By the way, Hyde has come back in, and they toss it to him. A lot of Seahawks were waiting for him, and he cuts back, and there are 2 more there to meet him, including David King and Ataba Rubin. Fast-moving game. Down to 4 minutes to go in the 3rd. And the 49ers still trying just to reach 100 yards of total offense on the night. Now at 77. Looking left. Man's there. It's Vernon Davis. In a seam. Able to take it out to the 48. Right between Earl Thomas and Kerry Williams for the biggest play of the night for San Francisco. Gain of 27.
Nice move at the line of scrimmage, and it caught Kerry Williams. You see number 26. He came up too quick, thinking maybe it was a screen to the outside, and that allowed Vernon Davis to get down the seam.
Vernon Davis, who's missed a couple of games with a knee this year, has 3 catches on the night for 54 yards. Kerry Williams was shaken up on that tackle attempt. Coming out of an injury timeout, Jim Nantz with Phil Simms and Tracy Wolfson and Mike Carey up here in the booth. If there are any reasons to talk about a rules interpretation, Mike, the former star running back at nearby University of Santa Clara. He was roommates with the great Dan Pasqualini. Here is Kaepernick's throw, back shoulder, and it's caught by Bolden. Right in front of Deshaun Shedd, and suddenly Kaepernick twice to Davis and this time to Bolden. The 49ers have something cooking on offense.
Well, it's the first 2 times all night he's looked relaxed, let his feet get under him and make throws right on target. This is what Anquan Bolden is great at. Back shoulder throws. We saw it with Joe Flacco when they had that Super Bowl run. And that was a very nice throw by Colin Kaepernick.
Kerry Williams, who was shaken up, sits out one play. He's back out there. First down and slipping out of the ankle tackle. It's Hyde. And it's a hard-earned 2. This is the deepest drive of the night for the 49ers. As they're approaching that red zone for the initial time, this drive put them over 100 yards of offense. They converted on a 3rd down for the first time tonight on this drive earlier.
Well, you're talking about a multitask player. Will Tuka-Afu, number 46, is now on the defensive side, plays fullback. That just shows you, Jim talked about it. If they could just have success on the offense, they're not deep on the defensive line, and they asked their fullback to go over there and play some snaps on the defensive side.
2nd and 8, in trouble. Hyde reverses field. And Kaepernick's looking to throw a block in. Does. What an effort by Hyde and Kaepernick. And the crowd rising to its feet. Excited about seeing something going right for the Niners. That picks up 6.
Really just a tremendous run. All on him. Penetration up the field. Nowhere to go. And what a job by Colin Kaepernick. Gets outside. Helps him pick up a couple extra yards.
Kaepernick may be having some issues with the communication inside the helmet, because he looked over to the sideline and was pointing to the helmet like he has no ability to get the calls in. And he's facing a 3rd and 2 from the 17. And they sustained the drive. Kaepernick down the line, throws at the feet of Bolden. And they're bringing out the field goal unit. You know, they're trying to get this back within 2 scores. And that's why you're saying, oh, why wouldn't they just go for it? Nothing's gone right. Well, they're down 3 scores. And if they can get the field goal here by Phil Dawson, it'll be a 2-score game.
I'll tell you why. Because you don't want to let Seattle off the hook. If you go for it on 4th down, you don't get it. They take a big sigh of relief over there and go, we still got 3 scores. So continue the game, press them, make them think, well, is it another comeback? Is it going to happen again against this if they can get these 3 points?
And the 40-year-old kicker, Phil Dawson, so good for so long. He hit all 4 last week against Baltimore, and he nails this one from 35 out. They drive from their own 7 and kick a field goal. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Lincoln Motor Company and the entirely new Lincoln MKX. And by Assassin's Creed Syndicate. Take Back London. Available tomorrow. Since 1849, Bodine Bakery. Serving up original San Francisco sourdough bread. Especially for the crew. Started that just a year after the gold rush out here. 1848. Bradley Pinion not only punts, this big kid, 21 years old, handles the kickoffs, and that one was not a solid strike. It's going to be scooped up and returned by Lockett, who stumbles out at about the 23. Let's get a report from Tracy.
Well, Jim, you were correct. The communication inside Colin Kaepernick's headset was not working inside his helmet, during that drive right there, and they came off immediately, started testing it. Looks as though they figured it out, Jim.
Make a big difference on that 3rd and 2 play when they failed to...
No, I don't think so. I think they had it in line. I think he struggled getting the communication, got it. That 3rd and 2 play, the problem, Colin Kaepernick, I think, is an excellent thrower of the football on the run. And he got out there, he just got in a bad position and made a bad throw. You know, you think he made some good throws in that last drive. He settled down a little bit, but that 3rd down play was something that you usually see him hit.
1st and 10. Lynch battling out for about 4 or 5.
Well, it hadn't been perfect for the Seattle Seahawks tonight. Russell Wilson on the move. Tremaine Brock, great job of doing his job and coming up the receiver, making the interception, and that time.
Yeah, Acker now with 3 picks on the year. He's gotten Carson Palmer, Joe Flacco, and tonight Russell Wilson. We got a player down. It's Russell Okun, the left tackle for the Seahawks. NFL Game Day on NFL Network, your Sunday destination with highlights, analysis. The NFL Game Day team is first on, last off. NFL Game Day, all Sunday only on NFL Network, hosted by Rich Eisen and all the team. Looking at Telegraph Hill neighborhood in San Francisco, the Coit Tower, built back in the 1930s. Okun helped to the sideline, so Gilliam is out there as well as Bailey.
That's right.
The two tackles now.
Ready. That's right.
2nd and 5, final minute of the third. And Lynch showing some good speed here tonight at times. Lowers the shoulder on Acker, but Lynch has the first down. He's now up to 89 on the ground on the night.
Well, if you want to be a wide receiver for the Seattle Seahawks, Doug Baldwin, number 89, on the outside. Eli Harold blocks him and allows Lynch to get outside.
17 carries for Lynch to get the 89 yards, and they'll have another snap here in quarter number 3. Then they'll head on to the 4th, which has not been favorable for them all year.
That's right.
Lynch again. Same side. Bigger results. Flag thrown in. Probably going to be on Ricardo Lockett on a hold. You were talking about how these wide receivers for Seattle, you got to learn how to block. Well, that time I think he held.
Holding, number 62.
Okay.
Offense. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul. Still first down.
It's on Nowak, the center. Sorry about that, Ricardo. That's going to close out the third quarter. 17-3 Seahawks. You're watching Thursday Night Football. We begin the fourth quarter with Seattle up 17-3. The last 6 times, this is going back to last season, the last 6 losses for Seattle, they actually had the lead in the fourth quarter, including 4 times this season.
Roger, roger, roger.
Going back to Kansas City, regular season last year, and of course the Super Bowl. Completion to Jimmy Graham, stretching it out to the 40. And for Graham, his second catch tonight. You know, the trade detail is interesting to see what happened with the draft picks. It's always been talking about Unger and Graham exchange, but there were picks. They got a 3. Did Seattle? They turned that into Tyler Lockett. We saw what he can do already tonight. And Stephon Anthony, first rounder, linebacker, starts at middle linebacker, the 31st overall selection out of Syracuse for the Saints. We saw him last week making plays in their Thursday night win.
He's played well.
2nd and 8. Fred Jackson open. Got the first down. And then Clark makes the tackle, but Seattle advances it over to the 49ers 43.
Wow, just break and contain. Fred Jackson comes out of the backfield, just goes out in the flat. There is nobody there, so it's got to be a mix-up. Somebody was supposed to drop back in that zone. One of either the inside linebacker or Ahmad Brooks, the outside linebacker.
You know, 17-3 here. It was 19-3 final on this field on Thanksgiving night last season. As the 49ers now in the last 11 quarters against Seattle have only managed 13 total points as Lynch picks up 3 right into the arms of Bowman. Just a reminder, Week 7 continues Sunday morning. The game live from London at a special time on Yahoo. Bills Jaguars. And then the 1 o'clock window on CBS and Fox shapes up this way. Check your local listings.
Well, look, this is, of course, it's a huge series for the 49ers. They want to win this game on the defensive side. A field goal, you know, that puts them back in the same position. Puts them 3 scores down. So you got to take a chance. You can't play safe. You got to keep them out of field goal range.
2nd and 7. Felt the pressure from behind, spun away from Lynch, and then rifles it over to Lockett, who's within a yard of the first down on the sideline.
Well, that was some move getting away from Aaron Lynch. Watch him on the outside, number 59. He thinks, oh, I got him. But Russell Wilson, of course he feels it. He has great experience all the time he played in college and the years now that he's played in the NFL. And once he sees it, or once he realizes his first receiver is not open, he will check the rush to make moves like we saw just there.
3rd and less than 1. Here's the blitz and the keep. Wilson. That was an awkward slide. His feet
It was
just got suddenly kind of planted in the ground.
You can see the mark on the field where he got his cleats stuck. Big moments like this, you see it all the time. Russell Wilson is looking to keep the football. There's the divot. Oh, yeah, he
could have been hurt.
Yeah, he did it himself. You know, he didn't pick that foot up.
Expect a former baseball player to have a little better slide than that.
I think he hit a lot of home runs. He just trotted around the bases.
Here's Lynch.
Well, the 49ers, they understood the enormity of that last third down, so they did have the blitz on. But Seattle, Darrell Bevell called the perfect play, put it in the hands of Russell Wilson to read it, and that was a big first down. Time, of course, going off the clock and getting in position to give them a 3-score lead.
Wilson goes to the shotgun, flanked by Lynch. As you see Bevell right there. His drives lasted 5.5 minutes. Pressure. And that's the 4th time the 49ers have taken down Wilson. And again, it's Aaron Lynch, who we spoke of earlier, the bright prospect.
Pretty amazing, as much as he's played here tonight, how many snaps. He just keeps working. And that time, the coverage made Russell Wilson step up. And once he stepped up, Aaron Lynch, big, long arms, just kept hustling and raining down.
That's his 2nd sack tonight. He had 3 on the year coming in.
Makes the field goal attempt from this range. It's not a gimme.
Nope, be about 47, 48 from here. 3rd and 13. Gonna get him closer though with this little toss over to Jackson. Only actually a yard closer. So Hauschka comes out to attempt the field goal in the 40s to try to match the one that the 49ers produced at the end of the 3rd quarter by Dawson. It'll be 46 yards. And it's interesting, during the quarter changeover, Hauschka was out here. You see this sometimes. Hauschka out here with some imaginary kicks from about this very spot. 46-yard attempt. And that kick is a good one. Now 16 of 16 on the season.
Well, whatever he's visualizing, it's sure working.
Very effective drive for the Seahawks. Kept it almost 7 minutes, resulting in the Hauschka field goal.
It's everything they wanted. Ran the football, picked up a 3rd down, got the field goal.
And the 49ers need touchdowns. They don't need field goals. They've only had 1 touchdown in their last 3 drives against Seattle. Talking about regular season and going back to a postseason game a couple of seasons ago. Ellington in the middle of the field, sandwich there. 26-yard run back. 139 total yards for the Niners tonight. Seattle looking like its old self here. NFL Thursday Night Football is sponsored by Fallout 4. In stores November 10th. Lowe's, hurry in this weekend for great fall savings. And by Nissan, innovation that excites. Got the museum here at Levi Stadium featuring memorabilia from the storied history of the 49ers. I saw a couple of pictures of you in there, Phil, on the ground.
On the ground, there you go.
It's on the ground back at the 15. And again, it's Bennett. How about Bennett? He's going to now be up to 3.5 sacks tonight.
He's having a terrific night wherever he lines up. 72, right around Jordan Debbie. Just so quick, the initial move got him off balance, swats him, gets in and gets a sack. You know, this defense, the big mistakes, they've made it into games tonight.
You see Mike Davis at running back behind Kaepernick. The rookie out of South Carolina. Kaepernick. He's not going to get away again. Mebane this time. Bennett put some pressure on, but he allowed somebody else to get credit for a sack for once. There's Bennett.
Yeah, Bennett almost got there. You're right. Mebane 92 just powered through Debbie that time and ends up getting the sack because Kaepernick, what did he have to do? Step up to get out of the way of Michael Bennett.
Six sacks by the Seahawks. 3rd and 26. Draw play to Bush. And Cam Chancellor closes that one down. It looks like a Seahawk team we're familiar with tonight, huh?
Well, it does. And, you know, we talked to some of the players, Earl Thomas, you know, of course, we talked to Pete Carroll. They just said that adversity they faced after the mistakes they've made the last couple weeks, they just said it's going to make us stronger. You know, they had some meetings, aired some things out. Bobby Wagner, their defensive play caller, he's back in the line, so there's not going to be any miscommunications. Been all good tonight.
And Pinion for the 7th time. Puts the foot to it. That's 5 3-and-outs tonight for the 49ers, who have been virtually shut down by the Seahawks defense. Hey, next Thursday night, we've got New England and Miami. Of course, the Patriots undefeated. That's on CBS and the NFL Network. And then the week behind that, Cleveland down at Cincinnati. Bengals undefeated at the moment. We had that game last year. Cleveland went down to Cincinnati and won.
Yes.
Behind Brian Hoyer and a stout Browns defense that night. That'll be on NFL Network, first Thursday of November.
Well, you know, too, Miami, Dan Campbell, great start for him last week down in Tennessee against the Tennessee Titans.
We'll be hosting Houston. The Dolphins will this Sunday before they head to New England next Thursday night. Lynch is going to get back a couple yards. He was moving in on 100. By the way, that defense we were talking about, we got Earl Thomas mic'd up tonight. Let's listen into the free safety.
No, 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 no! You already know! Whoa, don't do me like that. Oh, Becky, Becky. Great job, bro.
Earl a little more animated than you might have thought. You know?
Well, than last night, that's for sure. How about the one thing that caught me by surprise, talking about, you know, Earl Thomas. He goes, you know, sometimes I'm timid on the field. You can't see it.
Yep.
It's inside of me, and I just went, well, I never see it the way you play because he is all out, fastest safety in football.
Here's Lynch. Yeah, he's talking about how sometimes he says, I hurt the team. I get a little timid. And you can't tell. It's internal, but I know it. But he is, well, he is just a tremendous part of this defense. And I think at times he's a little bit overlooked by some of the bigger personalities.
Well, that's right. He doesn't talk a lot. You know, he's not doing tons of interviews. What he is the great, I always say it, you need safeties to take 20-yard plays and turn them into 5-yard gains. Him and Cam Chancellor is a tandem, said many times, the best in football, and his speed makes a lot of plays, small plays, out of what is potentially big plays.
3rd and 9, pressure, and Wilson is taken down for the 5th time. Brooks got to him first, a loss of 10.
Well, the best thing you can say about that play for Seattle is it happened so fast, and the blocking was, they gave ground so fast that Russell Wilson was at least able to go down and protect himself.
So 5 times tonight, he is sacked. And that means, so far in the season, 6 of their 7 games, he's been sacked at least 4 occasions.
This is a defense that can't do one.
Yeah, this they couldn't put pressure on the quarterback tonight. But they've gotten to him tonight 5 times. 5 minutes to go. Very nearly. Patton got there. Fair catch. Bush at the 20. Lockett right on him. Is the flag coming out? The flag. There is a flag back at the line of scrimmage, but not where Bush made the fair catch. Quentin Patton crashing in.
After the play, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 11 of the kicking team 15-yard penalty. First down, timeout.
He said of the kicking team, he meant the receiving team. Quentin Patton. NFL Thursday Night Football, sponsored by T-Mobile. Ditch your carrier and switch to the uncarrier, and by AARP Real Possibilities. The Golden Gate Bridge connecting San Francisco to Marin County, where Pete Carroll was raised, over in Marin County. Played at the University of Pacific. Of course, was the defensive coordinator for the 49ers back in 1995. He used to go to the old Niner games at Kezar as a kid. Here's Kaepernick's pass, and that one was precise, and it's caught by Bolden for a gain of 6. Kaepernick without a rush attempt in this game. Of course, you're talking about a player that set the all-time record in any NFL game ever with 181 yards rushing in that playoff game against Green Bay. He's never had a game where he did not have a rush attempt in his career. Through the hands of Torrey Smith, who's been invisible here tonight.
Yeah, he has. Richard Sherman's been on him most of the night, not now. But you talk about Kaepernick, and Jim, the one thing you've noticed, every time he's tried to break the pocket, moved outside, whatever, Seattle, their speed, their discipline, all there tonight, and that's why he's not able to get past the line of scrimmage.
So Torrey Smith without a catch. Bolden has 3 for 39. Quentin Patton 1 for 2 yards. Grand total of 4 catches by the wideouts, 41 yards. That's after they had last week Bolden over 100, and Torrey Smith had a big game, near 100. Flag down on the run. Kaepernick's laser off the hands of Patton, with Thomas on the coverage.
Holding, number 75, offense. Penalty is declined. 4th down.
We asked Kaepernick if there's bad blood between the 49ers and the Seahawks. He says, no, I'm sure there's not any at all. He said, I'm sure they're going to try and light me up just like I'm going to try to light them up. He's close friends with a couple of players on the team, but this is about to be, for Kaepernick, a career record of 1-6 against Seattle.
Yeah, listen, the defense is talented. The offense just not matching up to take advantage of how Seattle plays. And you have to think, too, that this Seattle defense is a little into the head of Colin Kaepernick and his San Francisco offense.
L.J. McCray with a great tackle on Lockett. Decks him right after the 43-yard punt. And now next-gen stats presented by Esurance. Check out Russell Wilson on the zone read on that 3rd and short, where his cleat got stuck in the ground. You know, we talked to Russell. I liked what he told me. He gets 5 massages a week at about 2 hours a pop.
That's a job.
That's a great stat.
That's a job.
He might need a little reflexology on that foot, though, tomorrow, after the way that cleat's
Yeah, that was dangerous.
Forget the
Toughest play for him all night. Swims a couple times a week to get rid of the soreness. Boy, he needed after last week. He took more big hits last week against the Carolina Panthers than like I'd seen in ever. You know, we talked about it last year. You've never seen him take a big hit where somebody hits him, he's not ready for it. Well, the Carolina Panthers sure did last week. They took a lot of hits.
I was just glad to meet somebody who actually had almost as many massages a week as you do.
I knew that was coming. You know, I could just see it was coming. I can't afford them.
Oh, yeah.
No, I can't. That's amazing. But, hey, look, that is a great thing about these players nowadays. They can do whatever it takes to make themselves feel good money-wise. You're still happy about you said that?
Man of the people.
That was good.
Okay. I'm believing that. Timeout called here by the 49ers as Lynch has reached 100 on 23 carries. And by the way, for Lynch now, that's the 6th time in his career he's rushed for 100 yards against San Francisco, which ties the all-time record of the great Jim Taylor of Green Bay Packer fame.
380. 2nd
and 8.
I'll tell you what, I'm going to need a massage later. You're beating up on me up
come
here,
on.
so.
Well, what's another one for you?
That's right.
And another timeout call by San Francisco. By the way, Sunday, setting the lineup, the NFL and CBS regional action. Just want to remind those of you in Buffalo and Jacksonville, you'll see the Bills and Jags at 9:30 a.m. Eastern on CBS. And then it's action like the Jets at New England. Some will see Pittsburgh and the Chiefs, plus other regional action. And it all starts with the NFL today at noon Eastern time this Sunday on CBS.
You know, the one thing, great night for the Seattle Seahawks, just getting back on the winning track, doing some of the things, especially on the defensive side, but pass protection against teams that can rush the pass are still going to be major concern.
I mentioned that Buffalo-Jacksonville game, Phil, will be played in the local markets on the CBS affiliates there. And again, just a reminder, it'll also, of course, be available around the world on Yahoo. That's broken up. Trying to thread it to Jimmy Graham. Russell Wilson had one of those quotes, too, this week. I'm not big on superstitions. I just believe in great habits.
Yep.
And did they establish some better habits here tonight? The offensive line, which has been so maligned. I know that Russell got knocked down a bunch of times here. They did get Lynch over 100 as we got a player down. It's Tart who was filling in for the injured Buffet.
Real quick to answer your question, yes, I think defensively all good on the offensive side. Marshawn Lynch looks very healthy, quick and fast. But that was a blitz at time for the 49ers, and the pass protection broke down very fast. Russell Wilson had to get rid of it.
You had made the point at the beginning of the game. You thought this was a team capable of going on a roll. That if they were to lose tonight, it wouldn't be a season killer because they had that ability to turn a switch.
Yeah.
But here they're going to be 3-4. They're heading to Dallas to stay on the road for another game next Sunday. They'll be a week from Sunday at Dallas.
Well,
Coach Carroll talking about how they'll start gelling that offensive line at about the midway point of the season. And you look at their division, you got Arizona out there on top. How do you see things shaking out in the West? Arizona at 4-2, coming off a loss at Pittsburgh.
Well, Arizona's played very well. Even though they lost to Pittsburgh last week, you felt like at times they were dominating the football game. St. Louis, we watched their defense up close against the Green Bay Packers. They were incredible. Their offense just had a terrible day that day against Green Bay. But to go to the next game real quick, see Tart is finally up walking off the field, which is a good sign. We were down in Dallas the last game, right? The one thing that Dallas did in that game against Tom Brady, what was it? Rushing the passer. Greg Hardy, that group. Tom Brady was sacked 5 times in the first half.
John Ryan. Nope. It went into the end zone, touchback. We looked at the NFC West, a little bigger picture. It's been a strange year when you look at, you have all these undefeated teams this late in the year to have 5. That is unusual. It's the most undefeated teams this late in the season since the NFL merger in 1970. However, it's the second fewest teams over 500, a total of 10 through week 6 since 2002. Davis, his 4th grab tonight.
There's a guy, 31, Cam Chancellor made the tackle, which they got to feel good about. After the holdout, a few games, he's back in shape. It's like they said, he's gone through training camp. You know, he had those fresh legs that first week he's in, and it goes downhill a little bit, but they thought last week and tonight he's looked very good.
Over the head of Patton. We've not had a first down by either side in this game in over 8 minutes. 49ers tonight, 8 first downs total, 8 punts. And the 49ers tonight on their way to dropping to 2-5 on the year. And next up at St. Louis before Atlanta comes here. And they'll be seeing Seattle before too long, a month away. Third and 3, broken up, beautiful. That was Bobby Wagner flying across and denying the pass.
Great example of what they do. We talked about it earlier. Watch, he's just watching Colin Kaepernick. He's not covering man-to-man. Reacts to where he looks.
They're going to punt here with 3 minutes to go.
Well, yes, that's what you do. You punt the football. The game is over for the San Francisco 49ers, so they're not going to sit there and let Seattle just add on to it. You agree?
And not with this little time left. I'm not sure Seattle's really trying to score in 3 minutes.
Oh, I'm not saying they're trying to score.
Yeah. I mean, it was 4th and 4. I would have certainly gone ahead and go for it. But instead, it's a 9th punt of the night. So more punts than first downs for the 49ers. 48 yards on that one by Pinion.
You know, Russell Wilson coming back in, you know, just it's, people always say this part of the game, don't keep him in there. Well, I would think even if they get in the 3rd and long situation, they would not put him at any risk. In other words, ask him to read, take a chance where he can take another hit. Because I'm pretty sure this 49er defense is going to blitz.
This is an awkward, if you will, a question to even discuss maybe. But when you're talking about a team that's been in the Super Bowl the last 2 years, and now they're just still going to be at 3 and 4 after tonight, do you see this team being good enough to go to a 3rd straight Super Bowl?
I think the possibilities are there.
Hand off to Lynch.
This is the positive side. Marshawn Lynch. I've watched him just about all year long, all their games. This is as fresh as his legs have looked, and he's running with, as they always say, he runs angry. But when you talk about him as a Super Bowl, no, Jim, listen, the offensive line, it's still there. Pass protection. I don't care how good you run the football. Sooner or later, it's going to be 3rd and 7. And you're going to have to learn to, you've got to protect the quarterback at a much more consistent basis than this offensive line has done this year, and even at times tonight.
Right. The wide 90. Wide on track.
Lynch up to 113. We get 115. With Russell Wilson, he's been to the last 3 Super Bowls actually. Would like to make it 4 on this field on February 7th. He went to the game. Let me qualify that. He went to the game down in New Orleans, the Baltimore-San Francisco game, as a fan, because he said, I wanted to go see what the experience was like, to get a feel for the tempo of the game, the energy, the motion of the game, because he had every intention of being there one day. He was there the next year and the year after that.
Well, they were a good football team that year where he went down and says, but yeah, you want to get the vibe for the game, to see how long halftime was, warm-ups, everything that's so different in the Super Bowl compared to regular season contest.
Typical Russell Wilson, though. Absolutely everything was part of a plan.
Yeah.
And trying to make himself better.
The one thing he said, you know, he's a great talker when he comes in to spend time with us. But success, you know, it's about being consistent in your approach, the way you think, the way you work. And that definitely explains him, because he's a hard worker, mentally and physically.
Timeouts for the toss. They were able to shove him out of bounds. The Seahawks are going to get their first road win. Russell relishes that chance to play on the road. He talked to us about how he looks forward to the noise, how it ratchets up the focus, the attention to detail. I love that feeling. There actually wasn't a whole lot of noise here for him to go against tonight. As you see, again, they have at Dallas coming up a week from Sunday, then they have their bye week. You see Arizona for the first of 2 times coming up out of the bye. 3rd and 5, and Lynch, he'll have the first down. That'll bring us to the 2-minute warning, and they'll have a couple of kneel downs on the other side of it to close it out. 2-minute warning. Seattle 20, San Francisco 3. You're watching Thursday Night Football. Coming up next, the Mazda post-game show, interviews and analysis of tonight's game. You know, you go back to the sweep last season by Seattle, 19-3 and 17-7. This one's 20-3. All these games have kind of been pretty much carbon copies.
Yeah, they have. And really, when you think about it, it's the San Francisco offense that always seems to struggle so much against the Seattle defense. And you know what? What do you do during the offseason as a football team? You sit around and you plan to beat or to play against your division rivals.
The best team in your division, the team you got to go through.
So you got to
accomplish what you want to do.
Right. You got to build your team and draft and think about and design your offense and defense around beating the 3 teams that you're going to play twice a year.
56-13. It adds up to in the meetings last year and this one tonight.
Hey, look, Jim. Well, the pass rush did get there. But the wide receivers for the San Francisco 49ers, they had trouble all night trying to get open. The pass protection for Colin Kaepernick was spotty right from the start. No rhythm to the offense. It never gave their defense even a chance to rest and maybe go out there and give it an effort where they got this Seattle offense off the field a little quicker.
390 total yards by the Seahawks, 142 for San Francisco. And the Niners tonight 1 of 11 on 3rd down. So Joe Staley, we've seen some really good years around here. This has got to be impossible to accept being a part of a production like this with so little to feel good about on that offensive side. Again, the Mazda post-game show is coming up next. Looking forward to Miami and New England next Thursday night. Marshawn Lynch he's just heading in early. He's done a good night's work. 27 attempts, 122 yards, a touchdown. And that's the last snap of the game. The Seahawks, they were anxious to get back onto that field. Ready to get right back out there.
Well, they showed it. They showed it really from the start. The running game, the way their defense played, that was the 2 most impressive things about the Seahawks here tonight. And man, when you can count on your defense, if you can run the football like they did here, that makes you, of course, tough in any situation, home or away.
There are your updated standings now in the NFC West. And the Seahawks improved to 3-4. And the Niners coming off the win against Baltimore on Sunday, not able to back it up. That had ended a 4-game losing streak. You got a sense from them they were feeling pretty positive about how well things had gone against the Ravens, but it just wasn't anything like what they had 4 days ago.
Yeah, excuse me. Yeah, they had great rhythm on offense. They were able to protect Colin Kaepernick. The receivers, hey, look, the Ravens have their own struggles too. They've won 1 game this year so far, but look, a lot of work for the San Francisco 49ers, kind of in well, there's no question, they're in a rebuilding stage, Jim, as you look at their football team. We talked about all the players they missed or don't have, especially on the defensive side. They're going to have to play really well anytime to give themselves a chance to win.
That's not something that you want to go out and talk about, how you're rebuilding in this league anymore. That's just a word you can't really pass along too often, but it is a reality. Kaepernick this evening, 13 out of 24 for 124 yards. And again, the first game in his career where he never had a rush attempt. In fact, the Niners tonight had only 15 attempts on the ground for 61 yards.
Well, for him not to get a rush attempt, it takes talent on the defensive side and a lot of discipline. And I know that's going to be the number one thing that they take out of this game, the Seattle Seahawks. The discipline they showed on defense, no major errors. They're going to enjoy a nice little mini bye this weekend after this Thursday night game.
All right, Tracy, let's head it down your way.
Thanks a lot, Jim. I'm here with Russell Wilson. And Russell, you talked about yesterday how confident your team was coming into this game. What was the biggest difference you saw from your team?
Well, we really executed on all phases. Defense was phenomenal tonight. Offense really executed. We had those 2 bad plays on me, but other than that, we were really rolling, and that's how we play. And the special teams is great too. We had some big plays there, but you know, we believe, you know, and that's what we said the last game, you know, in the locker room when we broke it down. We said we got to believe, and there's no reason why not to, you know. Just we choose to believe, and so we have the best fans in the world. They came out tonight too, which is pretty cool. And you know, good thing is we have these, you know, a couple days off here and kind of regroup and just kind of see where we can go.
Well, how much do you feel a win like this can propel you guys down the road now?
Well, it's only one, you know, and that's the way we look at it. You know, it's our goal is to go 1-0 every week. Nothing changes, no matter what our record is, or how good it is, how poor it's been. You know, we believe that if we focus on one game at a time, we give ourselves a great chance, and that's what we did, especially on a short week. Coach really got us prepared on a short week. Our bodies, we were flying around today. That's a key thing for us.
Good win. Congratulations.
Thank you. Go Hawks. Pass the peace.
They were flying around, especially Marshawn Lynch. Wilson tonight, 235 yards passing. 157 of the 235 came in the second quarter. Highlighted by the long heave right on the money to Tyler Lockett, the 43-yard touchdown pass that was the play of the game. 20-3 is the final. The Seahawks take it. Coming up next is the Mazda postgame show. We'll be back with more after this.